Hello students, welcome. I am Dr. Mercado and I will be your instructor for the fall 2025 semester. This is course orientation part 1. There are 3 orientation videos included that are going to be very helpful in learning to navigate either Blackboard or the learning platform that we're going to be using, whether it be Cengage or SIBNet. Okay, so the first part, which is the part that you're currently listening to, is just an introductory video. I'm going to explain some key information about the course structure, a little bit of background about myself, some course expectations, things of that nature. Please make sure that you listen and watch all of the 3 orientation videos because a lot of your questions that you might have will be answered in these videos. Okay, so let's begin. So this course orientation for the fall 2025 semester is going to be for my different sections or courses that I'm going to be offering. I'm going to be teaching Accounting 1303, which is Introduction to Accounting 1, Accounting 1304, Introduction to Accounting 2, Accounting 1413, this is Computerized Accounting Applications, Accounting 2301, Principles of Financial Accounting, and Accounting 2302, Principles of Managerial Accounting. Now, Introduction to Accounting 1, 2, and Computerized Accounting Applications will be solely online. For Principles of Financial Accounting and Managerial Accounting, I do have sections online as well as face-to-face. Okay, so whether you have an online course or a face-to-face course, this information will be helpful. But if you will be having me in a traditional setting, then I will be going through all of this information in class. These videos are more oriented towards my online students because I don't get an opportunity to see you in person. So this is kind of like informative videos to help you become familiar with information that I feel is important that you need to know. Okay, so for my online classes are asynchronous courses. So what does that mean? That means that students will not attend a class at a set time. Okay, so this is an online class. So you log in whenever you can or want. Okay, you will have access to pre-recorded lectures, digital curriculum materials, resources, so you can be able to complete your assignments. Okay, now that does not mean that you get to log in whenever you want. Okay, we have deadlines to meet. For the most part, the assignments open on a Monday and close on a Sunday. So you have 7 days to work on your assignments. That is for most weeks. There are some weeks that have exceptions, whether you have a project or you have an exam. Okay, that is why it's very important that you have a printed copy of your syllabus. Okay, but for the most part, the class week will be from Monday through Sunday. Okay, and then within that week, you're going to have deadlines. Okay, but you can work on your assignments early in the morning, during your lunch hour, late at night, whenever you feel like it. Okay, there is no time where we have to congregate as a group and log in at a certain time. No, there's not. You do that on your own, just making sure that you adhere to the established deadlines. Okay. Um, so you control what you do. All of the resources are provided in Blackboard within each of the weekly modules, and then you just do whatever is it that you need to do during that week at your convenience. Now there's some pros and there's some cons to asynchronous courses. Now why do I select asynchronous courses? I select asynchronous courses because I understand that it is nearly impossible to agree on a date and a time each week to meet. All of you have different work schedules, life responsibilities, children, different things going on in your life. So it would be impossible to come up with a date and time to meet. So this gives the flexibility for students to be able to complete the coursework and be able to, not have to worry about meeting at a certain time or not being able to get to that scheduled meeting. Okay. Now, some pros for asynchronous courses are flexibility. Students can engage whenever, however they want with the course. Okay. Students with demanding circumstances in their personal lives, such as having children, aging parents, or ill spouses, will allow them to schedule their coursework around their lifestyles rather than their lifestyle around their courses. Okay, so the pros for asynchronous courses are based on flexibility. Now the cons. Okay, You have to be very well with time management, okay? Because you will have responsibility to keep up with your deadlines, okay? So many students find asynchronous courses difficult to engage with due to the sense of distance that comes with these courses. There is really no live interaction. If you have a course where I have pre-recorded lectures, my lectures are steered towards problem solving, so I don't cover much of the lecture in the lectures. I don't cover much of the content from the textbook. I'm steered more towards applying what we learn in the chapter to specific problems. So they're very hands-on problems. Okay. So that is what my lectures are based off. Okay, teaching students how to apply what they've learned. It is the student's responsibility to read each of the chapters. There's PowerPoints provided for your review. There's a lot of resources provided. It is up to you to do that, and then I come in and supplement with some additional resources as well. Okay, so in my courses there is no live interaction. My lectures are pre-recorded. So sometimes students feel that the classes can get boring or tedious per se. Okay. The flexibility of asynchronous courses can act as a burden to some students, requiring a higher level of personal accountability that synchronous courses offer. Students need to have a system in place to ensure they complete their coursework on time. And I do post reminders, but ultimately it's up to the student to make sure that they have a calendar and that they know what needs to be submitted by what due date. Okay. Another constant complaint that I get is if a course requires group project or group work, scheduling and collaborating can be difficult. But now with all of the technology that we have, I don't think that's much of an issue. I've also heard students say, Miss, I feel lonely because, I don't get to collaborate with my peers. We do have a Pronto app where students can go in there and communicate with each other. If you have a question at any point in time, you can just throw it out there and see who can help you. Students are always welcome to participate, respond, give feedback. It has helped me a lot. Sometimes students have questions on a Friday night at 11 p.m. I'm asleep by that time. But then some of other students are awake and they can assist the student, in answering their question or providing feedback or providing guidance. So I do encourage students to get the Pronto app because it allows for a very easy way to collaborate and communicate with your peers and with myself as well. Okay. So for example, if I'm not available to answer, someone else can hop in and hopefully help you all and get your question answered. Okay. So there's pros and cons for asynchronous, but there's pros and cons for anything in life. We just have to deal with it. Just know that because this is an asynchronous course does not mean that you are alone. I encourage students to form study groups to collaborate with each other. If you have questions or concerns, I am here to help you get those questions answered. Do not feel that you are alone because you are not alone. It's just a matter of communicating and, it's great that I've seen students, become friends over, online courses, and they help each other out and they schedule amongst themselves, study sessions or they log in using Teams or Zoom and they work on their homework together with other classmates. And I am not against any of that. I love it when students help each other and, they help each other understand the content and collaborate with each other. I have no issues. I am all for that. And like I said, if you have questions or concerns on any of the courses, I am here. It's just a matter of you reaching out to me. Okay. Now, the orientation is going to be 3 parts, like I stated earlier. The first part is the overview. The second part deals with Blackboard. And the third part deals with the actual learning platform that we're going to be using, whether it be Cengage or Simnet. Okay. Now for the Blackboard, we're going to be going over the Blackboard layout, the Start Here module, the course content, the messages, the announcements, and the gradebook. For Cengage and or Simnet, because it depends what course you're going to be taking, all of my classes use Cengage with the exception of Accounting 1413. That is computerized accounting. That is the only class that uses Simnet. So they're going to have a separate third orientation video specific to Simnet. All of my other classes, whether it be Introduction to Accounting 1, 2, Principles of Financial Accounting or Principles of Managerial Accounting, those use Cengage. Okay, so in those videos, I'm going to explain about the learning platform, how to create your account, how to access the different assignments, the gradebook, and the resources provided. Okay, so do make sure that you do listen to part 2 and part 3 of the orientation videos. Now, for those of you that have not met me, I am Dr. Claudia Mercado. I have been a full-time instructor here at South Texas College since fall 2014. My education, I am like most of you. I am the first one in my family to go to college. I am very proud of that. I did not know if I had it in me because nobody else before me had gone to college. So I started off back in 2000 in South Texas Community College back in the day. And I graduated in May of 2001 with my accounting clerk certificate. After doing that, I said, hey, this is not bad at all. I think I can go for my associates. So I continued, and in August of 2004, I got my Associates of Arts in Business Administration as well here from South Texas College. And then I said, you know what? I've got this. This is not, not manageable. I'm going to continue with my education. So at that point, I transferred to the University of Texas Pan American back in the day. Now it's the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. And I continued with my education. And in 2006, I got my bachelor's in accounting. And then from there, I took it slow because I was working corporate and I was working long hours. I was working maybe 70 hours a week. So I didn't have much time for school, but I didn't want to give up. Okay. So I said, you know what? Even if I take 1 or 2 classes, I'm going to get it done. Okay. And mind you, all of this time since 2000, I was working, okay, full time, and I had kids. Okay. I have a total of 4 children. So yeah, it's not easy, but it is not impossible. Okay. So during all of this time, I'm working, I'm raising my kids, and I'm going to school. Okay, so I understand those students that sometimes are drained because they're having to do their work at 1, 2 in the morning, or like really have no weekends because they use their weekends to catch up. I understand. I feel you. I've been there. Okay, so I took a little, not a break. I've never had a break. I just kind of took it slower. I continued with my education, and in 2013, I completed my master's in accounting. Okay. Now, I was working corporate. I was working at the bank, at a local bank. I was a vice president there. Before that, I was a senior accountant. And it was very busy, very hectic with 4 children. I did not have much time for my children. So I decided to make a career change and I transitioned into education. So at that point, I moved to South Texas College, where I am today. I'm very happy. And then I started working here at South Texas College, and I said, hey, I've got time on my hands. What do I do with that time? Well, let me go back to school. So I did. I went back to school, and in November of 2020, I completed my Doctorate of Philosophy in Business Administration with specialization in organizational leadership. Okay. So I was a full-time instructor and I was a full-time student. Okay. And that's the last of my education there. So I started with a certificate and I moved myself up to getting a PhD. Okay. I've got over 13 years of experience in banking with emphasis in accounting and operations. I've worked in maquiladoras. My first job was at HEB. I worked in different areas in HEB. I used to be a cashier, quality control. I worked the deli. I worked the bakery. I did a lot of things, so we need to understand that we are not going to graduate and get a management degree. Okay. We're going to go and we're going to work ourselves up within any of the organizations that we choose. Or if you want to go the entrepreneur route, open up your own business, that is also amazing. Okay. So depending on what is it that you need to do, I am confident that your education that you're gaining at South Texas College is going to be instrumental. It's going to really help you understand and navigate the business arena. Okay. So this is just a little bit about me. If you see me out in the hallways and you are my online student, stop me and say hello. I've had so many students that I've had online come and say, hi, miss, you used to be my teacher. And I'm like, well, I don't remember you. And they're like, well, we were online. So, it's always great to meet my students online. So if you do see me around, say hello to me. Okay. So let's move on to some important information, our weekly task. Okay, it is very, very important that you review your syllabus and you are aware of the content that's going to be covered each week. I recommend that you print out a copy of the syllabus and put it in a folder. Okay, when you're ready to work on your assignments for the week, go to the syllabus and highlight or scratch off or mark off the assignments that you've completed. That way you know that you've done that and that you're going to move on to the next one. Okay. Organize your time each week to make sure that you have enough time set aside to complete all of your weekly assignments. So start off with the reading. Maybe on Monday you read the chapter. That's it. Maybe on Tuesday you do the study plan or the quiz, okay? And then maybe on Wednesday you begin working on your homework. You take one or two problems a day. I'm not asking you to work the 10, 15 problems in one sitting. They're long problems, okay? But if you do 2 or 3 a day, by the time the weekend rolls around, you just have a couple more that you need to complete, and then you're done for the week, and then you get to enjoy the weekend, okay? Organize your time. Read each of the assigned chapters before working on any of your assignments. I've had so many students come to me, Miss, I am lost. I'm like, you're lost where? I don't understand anything. I'm like, well, have you read? Well, no. I was like, well, you're not going to understand because you haven't read. Reading is critical. You need to read the content to be able to apply it to scenarios or problems. I do provide PowerPoint presentations. I recommend that you download or print those out and take notes as you're reading. That way you have additional notes for you. Review lectures, if any, provided in Blackboard. I provide lectures for some courses. For my computerized accounting course, I do not have any lectures because the course itself is built to where everything is explained within the actual course. But for my other courses, I do have some lectures that I've recorded. Now, I don't record lectures for every single problem out there. I usually select a couple of problems from the week that I think or feel are the most complex or complicated, and I cover those in detail with you. Okay. Do not fall behind. Okay. Now, I understand life happens. Okay, because it's happened to me. Okay. If you encounter an emergency that's going to prevent you from meeting an assignment deadline, please communicate. That is the key word. Communicate with me immediately so we can work something out. Okay. If something happened, you fell behind 2 weeks, as soon as you're back on track, let me know so we can get you back on track. Don't wait for the last day of the semester, guys. Let me know as soon as possible so we can work something out, some arrangements to get you back on track. Now, this is for emergencies. This is not for you forgetting to do something. This is not for you not planning correctly, okay? You need to be able to do all of that. We're adults. But if something happens, you're in an accident, your child is sick, you have a sick parent, you're having to travel out of town on business trips, whatever the case might be, I understand. Just let me know and we'll work something out, okay? Now, questions, okay? You are not alone, okay? Even though these are online courses, you are not alone. I am here for you. Now with technology, if you let me know, Miss, I want to have a discussion with you, I can schedule a Teams meeting. We can see each other on the screen, or you can come during my office hours if you're local, and we can, have discussions. I love it when students visit me. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions or concerns. Now, my preferred method of communication is Blackboard messages because that allows me to save all of our communication within the course itself. If you need to speak with me outside of my office hours, please let me know so we can schedule a date and time that works for both of us, okay? Now, for my fall 2025 office hours, I will have office hours Tuesdays and Thursdays in campus. This is at the Pecan campus, okay? And you will find that information in your course syllabus. Now, my office hours are in person. They're Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. and then Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. Now, the reason I have my face-to-face office hours Tuesdays and Thursdays is because those are the 2 days that I will be in campus. So I want to make sure that I am available to my traditional students. That way, if they have any questions, I'm in the office. Or if my online students want to see me, they can also drop by and see me, okay? I prefer that you schedule an appointment with me because sometimes I have 2 or 3 students show up at the same time. That way I can coordinate and organize. But if you need to see me impromptu, then just stop by. And if I'm not busy with another student, you're more than welcome to step in. Okay. To be successful in any of the courses, students need to stay organized from day number one. They cannot be falling behind. Okay. I am very strict with deadlines. And why am I strict with deadlines? Because once you get out there to the workforce, you have to be to work. You have to get to work on time. You have to complete your work by the established deadlines. You have to be responsible. Okay. So I'm trying to teach students responsibility, accountability. Okay. I do not grant extensions to complete assignments. I give you the 7 days, and it is up to you to figure it out how to get it done. Okay. All of the assignments are due on the designated due dates, and everything is outlined in your course syllabus. Please keep up with your deadlines. Like I stated earlier, if an emergency happens, I understand, and yes, I will work with you. Okay, just let me know, and we'll figure something out. Okay, maintaining communication is always very important. Okay. I am looking forward to an awesome fall 2025. I hope all of you are well rested from the summer and are ready to begin this new semester. I'm here for you. Please make sure that you watch and listen to the part 2 and part 3 orientation videos. That way you get a little bit more information of how the course is structured in Blackboard and how to create and access your Cengage or Subnet account. Okay. Until next time, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me, whether it be through Blackboard messages, through email, or through Pronto. Okay. Have a wonderful semester ahead. I'm very excited to be your instructor. And until next time, bye-bye.